Hi everyone, so this will be a commentary over my Olberic solo speedrun that I finished today, and this commentary will be for marathons missions, but also for anyone who's just interested in learning about the speedrun, route, and run. And hopefully it's interesting and informative. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it below, or any comments or anything else you can post. So yeah, we're playing through as Olberic, who's the warrior, and we're going to start by buying a sword and a spear because we need to gear him up for the first boss, which won't take too long to get to. And this is a Japanese turn-based RPG that came out like 8 years ago or so, around there. And each of the 8 characters that you can play as has a way to interact with the NPCs, the non-playable characters. So this guy, Olberic, that we're playing as, he can challenge the NPCs and battle them. And then we defeat the first guy by using 3 spear attacks. You could use also 4 swords, but obviously it's slower. Well, it's a little bit slower, I think, to use an extra attack. Here, this guy, you could use 3 spears as well, but I believe it depends on crits, and because of that, I would rather just use 4 swords in total. Sword is a little bit weaker than the spear because of when we bought it in the shop, you know, just the weapon attack is different between the two. Spear is a little stronger. Also, if you're trying to grind attempts, you could battle the left guy over and over and just reset until you get a wind soulstone drop, which does elemental wind damage and it helps for the first boss. And that's just a way to go faster if you really want. I'm not interested, but it does save, you know, at least a couple seconds. So yeah. Okay, so I'll explain the battle system actually. In the top right, you can see a little boost point, and I gain 1 every single turn. In addition, you can see a little 1 on all the enemies. That's how many shields they have. When you hit a weakness, like their sword weakness, over here I just hit them, they break, and then we do 2x damage over here. And you can also spend the little boost points in the top right. I spent all 3 of mine. You can only spend up to 3, and I spent all 3 to max boost and defeat those enemies. But basically in this speedrun route, in this speedrun, we're basically playing through Olberic, the warrior character, and we're going to play him solo. Usually you recruit a full party, but this is a challenge run that I was routed and was doing. But for now we're just doing chapter 1. Here I opt to break all of the enemies and then I flee. If they're broken, you're guaranteed flees. You also get 2x damage if you want to try to defeat them. Although we don't defeat these little weaker enemies because they don't give much experience or job points. Job points are what we use to learn skills. Here, this guy's weak to sword, but he has 2 shields, so we're gonna boost before we break him, and then we get a guaranteed flee. Flee rate is based on your level in this game, so we're pretty low level because we just started the game, obviously. So I don't like to rely on it, although the enemies are also like relatively low level, so but I still prefer just a guaranteed flee if possible. And as the storyline, basically like these brigands attack the village, they kidnap the little boy, we're gonna go save the little boy, but along the way we defeat more brigands. And I'm getting good turn order on these. You see on the second turn I go first and outspeed everyone, which means I can break them before they can take their turn, which is nice. And I can max boost again, the level slash, which is AoE sword, and defeat them all. Also in this game, every time you level up, you fully heal HP and SP. That's nice. Saves us some resources, like some items, and then also lets us plan around some certain battles and such, to not need the menu and things. So over here there is a fire soulstone on the left. If I had gotten the wind soulstone drop from the random NPC that I battled in chapter 1, I could skip this. That was the leftmost guy that I battled in the beginning. Basically the second battle I battled. But since I didn't get the drop, I pick it up. It's not like that much time lost, but it's, you know, it's nice if you can get it, and I believe at the world record level, you know, for the normal category of this game, you would want to grind for it probably. This is the first boss of the game, Gaston. Not too hard. We're gonna use level slash. Our goal is to defeat the minions in the back, because as long as they are still alive, they take their turns, and then that'll just slow us down. They're also gonna stack up damage, which will get bad. So we use the fire soulstone that they're weak to, or the wind one if that had dropped instead. that will break them along with the level slash we did, and we'll use a soul stone to defeat them, the light soul stone that we picked up in the first map. Along the way, this is chipped Gaston a little bit, and now we're going to use Abide to increase our physical attack. Gaston here is going to power up, basically, and that always, as a tutorial, it shifts us ahead in turn order. This is to teach us about breaking the enemy, and we do that. We break them with our boosted spears to do extra damage, and then we use all of our boost points to do as much spear damage as possible. Because if you remember what I said, spears has higher attack power than the sword. Then healing grape to heal our HP, because he had chipped us a lot. We chip him one more time, and now we're gonna put Abide, which is the attack up, back up, and then we'll use more spears to defeat him. And yeah, Gaston is scripted, so that means that we know every single turn what happens and how to defeat him, and he's not particularly bad or hard or anything. Also, at the end of that battle, I had gained 30 job points at least, which means I can learn a skill. The first skill is 30 job points, the second is 100, and then 500, and it keeps scaling up. But we just learned 1000 spears, which is a warrior skill. And we finished chapter 1, and skip all the cutscenes, which is nice about this game. That the cutscenes can be skipped, and there's also autosaves on pretty much every single screen transition, so it's very like speedrun friendly for marathons. And now we're going to be going to the gain a sub job. So basically in this game, there's a sub job system, and every single turn, every single of the 8 characters has a base job. Olberic is the warrior, but the other 7 jobs, you can obtain those in the overworld, and there's even more jobs beyond those actually. But we want to gain the Scholar sub-job. Scholar has a passive ability that you can gain that will reduce enemy encounters by about half or so, which is very useful. It lets us skip a lot of random battles, and we want that as soon as possible. So we're basically going to beeline straight for that now. Also here, I'm going to walk the rest of this map, because walking, before you get evasive maneuvers, which is the Scholar skill that reduces the encounter rate, if you walk, you can travel larger distances without encounters. And then I just walked to the transition point, so that's nice for skipping a battle. Once we get the Scholar passive, we won't bother doing that anymore, because it won't make a difference anymore.
Victory shall be mine.
And we'll just run everywhere. But yeah, in order to get Scholar, it's in like this dangerous area, and in addition to that, we don't really have any spare job points because we just spent everything on 1000 spears, the warrior skill. In order to learn the Scholar passive, we have to learn 2 abilities, and the best way to do that is to defeat a rare monster called a Cait. If anyone knows Dragon Quest, basically there's metal slimes in that game that give high experience and money or whatever else. And in this game, the equivalent is the Cait, and that gives bonus experience, bonus job points, and extra money as well for early game. A lot of routes will rely on them, and in the past what runners will do is they play chapter 1, they restart, and they play through over and over until they can find a random Cait and kill it. And sometimes I'll take like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 tries before they can find one, because it is a semi-rare encounter. It's a pretty rare encounter. The community came together and just created a Cait mod, and that's what I run with. Basically, it just guarantees that random encounter, and in order to prevent abuse, the rules just are state that you can only kill one of them. So we're gonna kill one of them in the Cait map coming up. And it doesn't really change anything about the game, it just means that you don't have to grind chapter 1 over and over. And that is very welcome to me. I first ran Olberic a good number of years ago. I want to say like 5 or so years ago. And when I ran it, there was no Cait mod. So I grinded until I could find a Cait, killed it, and then I never grinded again because it was to me it's miserable to replay chapter 1 and go for the Cait. But that's this guy. He has super high evasion, but the 1000 spears ability I mentioned, it guarantees at least 3 hits on the Cait, and often, you know, can do up to 7. Here I got 4 hits, which is just enough to kill it, and that gives a lot of job points and experience. It leveled me up a whole bunch, and now I have enough job points to learn the scholar skills I need. In addition to that, we're going to challenge this NPC here and run away. That resets the encounters in this map. In addition to resetting the encounters, it just makes it safer to, well, because it resets encounters, it makes it safer to get to the Scholar Shrine, and that gives us the Scholar sub-job. And we will get other sub-jobs as well, but for now this is the most important one, and the first one that we get. And pretty much right away I'm going to learn 2 skills, and that will teach me the first passive of the job. The skills I learned are Firestorm and Lightning Blast, and both will be used later. And if we could, we would learn more, but we don't have the job points, and it would take too long to, you know, grind and such. So, all right. And here I put on the support skill, Evasive Maneuvers, and passively reduces the encounter rate, which is really nice. So in Octopath speedruns, after you've gained Evasive Maneuvers, the most common thing is to just go in the overworld and tag towns and stuff. There's a fast travel system, so we're gonna tag Noble Court, which is a nearby town, and we're gonna go around looting items and such. There is a medium soulstone outside of this town, which is very similar to the small soulstone that we used in chapter 1. If you remember, those were doing like 200 or 260 if an enemy was weak to it. That medium one does 1100, which is really nice. There's a large one coming up here too, that does 2700 as well, which is also a lot of damage. Also, fun fact, Forest of Purgation is the highest danger level map in the entire game. So that's a large soulstone that we wanted. And then over here in the bottom right is a 20,000 leaf chest, and we want that as well. And then we will fast travel out because we're in a very dangerous dungeon, and it will be too dangerous to run out, and also it's faster to just warp away. So we teleport away. We'll be tagging more towns and such. In normal speedruns of this game, the single story speedrun that is, Olberic would gather 2 or 3 other allies, and the player would, or the speedrunner would, fight the bosses with them. We're doing the Lone Traveler challenge, which is a single character, just Olberic. That makes him, you know, have to grind a little bit more, and it's a lot slower, but it is a fun and interesting challenge, so I do recommend it if anyone's interested. Basically, when the game came out on Steam, the developers, like, or whoever, added a bunch of challenge things and such, and one of the achievements was to get the solo achievement, which is just your character beating their whole storyline by themselves, and that led to a lot of people doing you know, solo challenges and such, which is nice for me. I'm a fan of them. Right now we're just tagging towns and walking away, so it's safer. I mean, so that we can warp back, and that way, if we are in a deep dungeon, we could warp to a town as well. It's safer than running out. But yeah, this solo run I actually did a few years ago. Was one of the earlier solos I did, and I never really optimized it that much because I wasn't that experienced. But then I recently had the urge to come back and optimize it more. My previous run was 1 hour 45 minutes ish, and this run, if you know from the title you can see, is 1 hour 31 minutes. So I saved like 14 minutes, and I liked how it turned out mostly. And hopefully this commentary will be informative. But yeah, in the beginning it's pretty basic. You know, you have to go to these towns later anyway, so might as well tag them now and get the resources around them. Like here, this Wellspring town is Olberic's chapter 3, and in order to beat a character, you have to clear their chapter 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's one of the 4 towns we like always have to go in a Olberic speedrun. Also, fun fact, there is a loading trigger like just below the sign here, so we don't have to go all the way to the right. Just a random small thing, like there's like these little micro optimizations that we do to save time. And here, for example, I'm moving very slightly diagonally. That's because when we get to the very bottom of the screen, you know, you have to move to the right a little. So here there's this treasure chest we want to pick up. You can either pick it up from below or from the left side. I think the left side is maybe slower by like a half second or a second or something, but it feels smoother to me, so I do it like that. And that's because you have to move left anyway, but if you're down below you have to move upward to get it a little. Yeah. So we entered that dungeon to reset encounters. Basically, if you do a screen transition or you saved and then reload your save file from the title screen, it resets the encounters. So we went to that dungeon to reset the encounters because we're in a really dangerous area, level 45. We're like level 14 for reference. We go tag the town nearby, but then we run back to the dungeon because we do want to get stuff inside. We want a lot of stuff in here. So I will safety save because you can get a random encounter and it's very dangerous. First item is behind this wall right here. The developers did this where they like hid a lot of hidden items like behind a little nook or something. It's a revitalizing gem and it's going to be useful for the final boss. We say no to this, and that resets the encounter rate. Basically, it's like, do you want to fight this boss? And we're like, no, and it resets the encounters because of how it's coded. And over here, we come here to pick up a calming stone, and that blocks the status condition called Terror. And Olberic's final boss does that status condition a lot, but some of his chapter enemies do it too, so it's very useful and mandatory. We use a buffer glitch here. So basically that means that I hold the top of my window screen on PC and I move the control stick, and that lets Olberic walk through the boss trigger and get the item. You can also just defeat him normally. Costs like 10 minutes I want to say or something, but you would have to just come back a little later, and it's better to just go now. But yeah, we talk to the boss to reset the encounters, and then we pick up a sword and we warp out. Over here we buy some grapes and some plums that heals our HP and SP. SP's been is used for skills. HP of course is to survive. But yeah, the reason why also here this palace area we pick up these chests lying in a room. But the reason why we went to that dungeon and we looted in that order was to avoid the random encounter, because when we're running around grabbing those items, you can get a random encounter, and if you do, it usually defeats you, and you have to reload the save. Also here I optimize my equipment to put it on, because I got a whole bunch of like weapons and gear and stuff. But basically we looted in that specific order so that if we did get a random, so that we get the treasure chests that are most dangerous first, because they're most likely to get a random encounter. And then we saved like the ones that are guaranteed for later. We optimized our equipment in case we get in a random battle. We'll be beefier and we can also defeat them more easily, just in case. Ideally, you just don't get any encounters though. Most of these Chapter 1 enemies are really weak, and they don't give much like experience or job points or anything. And this is something that's nice about running the game. Like the music's great, the art style's a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. And the sequel as well is good. The prequel has come out as well. I haven't played it yet. I did buy it though. I'll get around to that eventually. But yeah, I recommend the franchise if anyone likes turn-based RPGs. Or if you like pixel graphics and other stuff. It's a pretty chill game. So we picked up a really strong spear in that dungeon. We're going to use that to defeat the enemy here. You can also just flee, which is faster, but defeating them is not that much slower, and it does help with just a teeny bit with like experience and job points and stuff, which, we dig it. There was actually one practice run I did where I had 2712 out of 2714 I needed, so I needed like 2 more job points. And that thing just gave 2, I think. But yeah, every little bit I don't mind. And if it's more consistent, I prefer that too. Here we tag Quarry Crest. We don't need this town specifically, but it's a good warp point for us to warp back to later for when we're going to other places. This little dungeon over here has a wind soulstone, and we want that. We want to go to Olberic's Chapter 4 area, but before we get there, there's a minor chance of an encounter here. If you did get it, you would just have to run because you just don't have the well, you have resources to defeat it, but you need those resources for bosses later. So it's unfortunate, but we didn't get it at least. And the order that I did that previous map in, like in terms of like entering this place or exiting that place and such, that was like minimize the chance of getting the random encounter. Here we're gonna challenge this guy and run away. And same as before, this will reset the encounters in this map, so we don't get the random encounter, which is really dangerous. Again, these are like level 45 area things. Like, we are not meant to be here, and you know, it's only because Octopath is kind of like open world that we can do it. We go to the town nearby so we can warp back later. So this guy, I think, is based off of Don Quixote, the book, which is like, if I recall correctly, like a knight who, you know, isn't actually a knight but wants to be a knight or something. I never actually read it, I just heard of it. Yeah, he's actually part of a quest line, and if you defeat him, he goes back to his hometown and doesn't want to be a knight anymore. So we're gonna defeat him because it gives us some money and a nut, which is useful. Also, he has a 20% chance to drop a Revitalizing Gem, which is a really powerful restorative, fully heals HP, SP, and BP, and I get the drop here, which is really nice. I don't usually rely on that drop or anything, but it's good to get, and good to keep in mind if you do get it. Also, because we beat him up with our challenge, we got the Crit Nut L and 11,000. Crit Nut increases our crit rate, and we will actually use it later, and that will help for the Chapter 2 boss. And then, in addition to that, the money is also nice. It also reset the encounter rate as well. So overall, just lucrative and useful, and also like on the path too that we need to go through anyway. Here in this dungeon, we loot some stuff and we come back. It's like all useful stuff, like a helmet and something that blocks status condition, another status condition. So useful stuff. Just gonna double check that I'm actually recording. Okay. Here, this is Olberic's Chapter 4 town, Riverford. Again, we're just tagging it to come back later, but it's also just a good warp point because we want to loot like the dungeon nearby. Also, just to mention, on that NPC that I just fought, I used 1,000 spears. It only hit 3 times, but if it had hit 4, then it would have saved me a little bit of time because that would defeat him. I needed an extra attack at the end to make up for only hitting 3 out of, you know. Usually, on average, you would hit around 4 though. And if you max boost the 1,000 spears or other skills like that, you will have higher hit rate. So that's why I boosted it too. Enchanted Rod, that's a powerful staff. I think it's one of the stronger staffs that Olberic can pick up, or the strongest he can pick up in the overworld. And then Force Shield as well, very powerful shield as well. So like all this stuff that we're getting, it's basically to gear us up, and it's just free armor that's lying around, so we might as well use it. Like when we were in the palace way back in the other sandy town, we picked up a high house armor, and that's our armor that we're wearing right now. Also, we're using the the buffer glitch that I mentioned earlier, where we hold the top of the screen and we walk through this boss checkpoint. And we just say no to the boss, to fighting the boss, but we can still walk through. These bosses are not that difficult to defeat though, it just saves a little bit of time to defeat them. I have videos on defeating them too if anyone wants to see. But yeah, this is Pomegranate M, and this is Pom L. The M size gives 2 boost points, and the large gives 4. So pretty useful. Outside here, there's another quest we can defeat with our NPC ability, challenge. So this like awkward boy is like, I think, causing issues or so, and then we just kind of beat him up to make him stop.
It's a good day for battle.
Again, you just need 1,000 spears. This time you only need 3 though, because he's weak to spear.
With each battle, I grow stronger.
After we defeat him, instead of just running away, we go to the nearby dungeon, which is Hollow Throne. That has another Pomegranate L, large, and a Revitalizing Gem again. So again, just gathering resources and stuff. And along the way, we do some of these quests and things for more resources, and also a little bit of money and stuff. I would say like the first hour of this run is kind of just prep. Maybe a little bit less than an hour, but a lot of it is prep. So here, Olberic is a warrior, which means that his elemental attack, his magical skills, is kind of weak. We're going to buy an elemental robe to kind of fix that. We don't put on, we're going to just optimize the equipment, which I believe I don't do. Yeah. Okay. I did not optimize, so that was a mistake. We warp here and pick up a fire soulstone in the south of the town. Also, I heal up SP because I know I'm going to be battling soon. And I use the critical nut that I got from the NPC, like that knight NPC outside, when I completed his quest. So I use that nut because it guarantees crits on the chapter 2 boss, and that is helpful for routing damage and stuff. There I should have just gone straight down, but I think I was looking at my notes or something. But yeah, over here, because we have geared up and stuff, we're gonna defeat the enemies with our magical abilities. But the thing is that I forgot to optimize my equipment, so I'm actually, you're gonna see I mess up here. But yeah, we're gonna force the battle here because we want some experience and job points along the way.
Let us fight with honor. Now, fire consumes all.
So here you can see that I messed up because I did like no damage to the right thing. I did like 7 damage. I should have been doing like 300 or something per attack. And I have to use a soulstone to fix, well actually I have to use extra attacks to fix it. He also heals, which is annoying. But fortunately he's weak to spear, which is good. Yeah.
With each battle, I grow stronger.
And here I fix it. Because I forgot to optimize. And I was about to use a plum, but then I realized I didn't need to. And plums can get tight if you use too many, so I decided to skip it. Also, I've tested this a lot, and I know that I'm very likely to level up right here. You almost always level up from this battle on the experience route I have. Here I was just double checking my gear because the last battle was messed up. But yeah, these pirates, you'll get them every single time. So in some maps, the first battle is consistent, and you'll get the same battle every single time. So I knew that I was going to get these pirates, and they're weak to fire. So I'm finally using fire to defeat them. And there we go, level up. This is another sub-job, Merchant, and super important. This is our DPS for the game. Merchant has a skill called Hired Help. You pay money and you'll do a ton of damage, and it does not use your stats. And that's really important because we're low level throughout the whole entire run. But we can pick up treasure chests in dungeons and we can use that to fund our hired help abilities. That's nice. So here we pick up a medium soulstone for thunder, and that'll be useful, you know, even just having 1 or 2 spare stones is nice, and you'll see their utility later. In addition to that, this dungeon nearby, Captain's Bane, has an item that we want, but before we go in, we just force an encounter and hide. And you don't want to get too close because the loading trigger is actually really close. Like, it's further than it appears. It's kind of deceiving. Here is a mistake. I should have just used Lightning Blast to save 1 input, but it's fine.
The thrill of the fight.
After we defeat the enemy, we go inside Captain's Bane. We pick up the pomegranate L that's near the entrance. Here there's a medium soulstone, we pick that up again and we force another battle as well. And usually 2 spells will defeat the enemies in these maps. If you get a turtle, you need 1 extra spear attack or something. But yeah, here I know better and I just use Lightning Blast.
With each battle, I grow stronger.
But yeah, we do need some job points and other things, and I'll explain later why we need that.
Let us fight with honor. Victory shall be
Here
won.
we pick up a soulstone item. That was a treasure chest nearby, and we challenge this guy to reset the encounters because this is a very dangerous map. There's a money chest right here on the coastline, and we will save and return to the title screen to reset the encounters. Here there's a Thunder Soulstone down here. We pick that up and we go tag the town. So yeah, this area, which is called Grandport, has like a lot of money and resources. This dungeon nearby, Lock of the Lost King, there's a large pomegranate, there's 30,000 leaves, which is a lot, and then there's a large soulstone, which is also pretty good. And then the town Grandport that's nearby, that's also good because in the back area there's like a bazaar with like a marketplace, and then there's these random chests lying around which holds like 50,000 or something in total. So it's a lot of money as well. Maybe 45,000 or something, but it's high. It's a lot of money. And as I mentioned, the merchant class that we are going to use is going to use hired help, and we need a lot of money for that. So I'm just going to loot everything for now. You can also just come back later to loot it, but you kind of want the money like sooner, because otherwise you have to sell your items early, and you don't want to have to sell your items early if possible. So if you just come here sooner, then you don't have to do any selling until the very end. Also, if you had other characters in your party, then you could interact with these NPCs, and some of them have, like, you know, useful stuff you could buy, but unfortunately we are solo. So there is actually one enemy in the previous map who you could challenge, and they can drop a pomegranate large, but it's not worth it, like, because the drops aren't guaranteed. You could just be rolling for a long time, and it's not very consistent. Okay, so we've done a lot of our town tags and dungeon loots and stuff like that. We're gonna go tag his chapter 2 town. Also, because I knew that my SP was low, I restored it a little bit, just in case we ran into an enemy and I needed to use a spell or something. I also do plan to take a random battle coming up in a snow map soonish. This is a really big screen, so you usually get an encounter on the screen.
Fight with honor.
But if you surprise an enemy, you're guaranteed to get away safely, so that's good. So here the hunter job is here. So we're gonna go pick it up. We're gonna learn hunter right away. I should have just learned the first 2 skills. That's just a note for the future if you're running this too, just learn the first 2. But for merchant we want sidestep and hired help. Then we go back to scholar, and then because we moved off of scholar in the beginning, we have to put on the staff again. Because not all, you know, some sub jobs have certain weapon types. The scholar has a staff weapon type, so we have to re-equip the staff. We also put on the support skills. One is endless items, that gives a 25% chance of recycling an item when we use it, which is nice because then we could like throw an item multiple times without using it up. And then we also put on heightened senses, that gives a 10% chance of surprising the random enemies that pop up. And that's just kind of nice in case we do get a battle, and then we get basically a free turn at the beginning.
Oi, no.
So after we come to this town and start Olberic chapter 2, we leave right away. Because we want to grind a little bit before we actually work on his chapter 2. But basically how the storyline is like Olberic is trying to find this old person who betrayed him, and he isn't sure whether he wants revenge or something else, but he heard that he might get information in that town he was just at, Victor's Hollow. But there's a tournament happening, and the person he needs information from is like this guy in the tournament. So now Olberic's gonna enter the tournament too. But if it's a tournament, there's a lot of people you have to fight, and we are not that strong yet still. So here in this map, the snow map has some random enemies and stuff. I'm gonna try to defeat it in this map. You could also opt to go into like one of the dungeons nearby and then enter and exit, and that will reset the encounters. But usually the battle here is not that bad, but it could be, so it's up to the player what they want to do. So the frontmost guy is dangerous because he can use silence, and if he does that, you can't use any skills, and if you can't use any skills, you probably cannot defeat this encounter. Well, not like quickly or without using resources anyway. So here, this is unfortunate. I don't know their HP and stuff, and also I don't have much SP to use this spell, so I just toss a medium soulstone because I routed some to be spares for moments like this.
Have a taste of this.
And I figured that they would defeat him. So
with each battle, I grow strong.
Leveling up is nice. And we tagged it down here. So in this town near the bar, there's this girl who wants to go traveling, but her dad's in debt, and he's like this pathetic father. So we're gonna beat him up, and I'll teach him a lesson because he like drinks a lot and other stuff.
Let us fight with honor.
He also doesn't have that much HP, which is good. 2 spear attacks finishes him off, and this is faster than using 1,000 spears, and doesn't use SP. So the quest gives us a alluring ribbon that increases encounter rate, and that'll be useful for our grind coming up. Alright, so now we're gonna go grind because we have the thing that will increase encounter rate. We have all of our gear, like, you know, armor. We have a shield that we picked up. We have a staff that we picked up to do magic damage. We have the scholar job that does magic damage for grinding. We're pretty much well equipped to deal with it. We also have a strong sword, so we are kind of a hybrid attacker. We attack from both ends, physically and elementally, which is good. Also, this dungeon over here just very good yield for enemies and stuff. We put on the ribbon and we take off evasive maneuvers, so we have high encounter rate. So Tomb of Kings. Every single enemy in here is weak to sword. I don't know if there's another map in this entire game where like every single enemy is weak to a combination like this. So this is kind of nice ish. I surprise the enemy and I use level slash. Or I guess I didn't, but it's fine.
Now then, I will cut you down.
But yeah, they're all weak to sword, which is nice.
With each battle, I grow strong.
And ideally, you want that enemy formation. The Sentinels I just defeated, they give a lot of experience and job points, and they're pretty fast to kill.
It's a good day.
These guys are a little bit slower, but the 4-shield one is weak to light, and if you toss the medium soulstone, you defeat them, which is nice.
With each battle, I grow
Otherwise,
strong.
if you don't have any, or you want to preserve them, you would just use Lightning Blast 2 times, and that also defeats them. Here I'm just, so this was the first run I did, and I'm just gonna do some safety saves, and usually I would run around picking up items right away, but since it's my first one, I want to stay near the save point for now, just in case.
Have a taste of this.
Here, that little glint you saw was endless items, that made me recycle the soulstone I just used, so now I can reuse it, which is really helpful. But you see that the medium one did like 1430, which is a lot of damage actually. And these guys are like 2000 HP or something, so yeah, that defeats them.
With each battle, I grow stronger.
You do want to be careful though and heal up if necessary, so that's what I'm gonna do. That's because you get caught by surprise, and if you are caught by surprise, it's really bad. Okay, so these are the rare Cait encounters. This is a double pair. The dungeon has one of the highest rates of it. So the bigger one has like 8 HP and the small one has 4. It doesn't matter though, we can defeat them. And it gives a lot of job points and experience and money and such, which is good for us. Also here I got a revitalizing gem. That is huge because that's a 1% drop on those 2 cats. So like close to 2% or something. But still very rare. I've never gotten that in a speedrun. Not outside of practice anyway. But yeah, it gave me a lot of job points and money and other things, so it was just very worthwhile. That said, it's not uncommon in this map. This map, Tomb of Kings, the Cait pairs has a 6% spawn rate, and that is the highest in the entire game. It's tied with 2 other maps for 6%. So you're very likely to get to see a pair at least once in the grind here. The reason why we're grinding is we need 2,714 job points. If we have that much, then once we reach the chapter 4 boss, we will learn a special passive ability that we really want for the boss, because he's very strong. So we want a very specific ability for him, and grinding right now will set us up for that later. And then the grind will also help for the bosses coming up too. To get 2714, you need to defeat about 27 battles worth, a little bit more, so maybe like 28 battles. But the cat pair that I just defeated, that's worth about 4 or 5 maybe? I can't remember, but it's worth quite a few. So it's very good because it saves us like a minute or two each. And since we will usually battle about 27 or so enemies, you're very likely to see that 6% Cait, because 6% means you see it like 1 in 16 or 17 battles. So if you fight 27 battles, you're very likely to see the cat at least once. Here, I thought that this would do enough damage to defeat them, but when I saw the second attack, I realized it wasn't enough. So I should have actually level slashed first. That was the sword attack I have. It's a faster animation, but it's fine. Didn't lose that much time. Here is a large fire soulstone, and it's just lying there, and we're grinding anyway, so we might as well pick up the items in the map. So here I fight this battle correctly. Use level slash, you break all of them, then you boost lightning blast to defeat them. This is a little faster than the other way, because level slash is a faster animation. Also, it takes less SP, which is actually relevant. I have run out of SP in my practices before. Usually, it's very rare though. So yeah, this thief combination, it's like these random thieves running around this dungeon looting the place, but we defeat them with 2 lightning blasts. And it's fine. Not the fastest, but it works.
I grow strong. This is a good day for battle. Have at you. I will cut you down. Great lightning.
Also, even though our attack and such is okay right now, this is mainly because we bought the elemental robe in Stone Guard. In the old route of this, I did not get the elemental robe, and all of our damage is lower and not good. But now our damage is better. So. Also, the sword we got, the Angel Saber, in that Catacombs dungeon, it gives accuracy. And that is actually important, because if we did not have an accuracy sword, we would miss more of these enemies. And if we did, then it would be really bad, because these guys can do a lot of magic damage, and it's a little dangerous to grind. So here, that was not a mistake. I was so you could do these battles in different ways. Like if you use lightning blast and lightning blast again, I could defeat them, or I could just use a single lightning blast x4. If you do a single, then you save animation, a little bit of animation time from not using a second. And then in addition to that, you save SP too.
With each battle, I grow stronger.
I don't know if that one was faster though. I haven't like timed it, but sometimes I choose to use a single. That depends if on turn 2 I see that I'm if on turn 2 I see that I'm behind on turn order. But here on turn 2 I see I'm going first, so I'm gonna just use the double lightning anyway.
With each battle, I grow stronger.
Also, after every battle that finishes, I watch my SP and stuff. And here, I took off the alluring ribbon because I have enough battles now. I just want to loot and get out, I think. Or, like, once I get out, then, like, once I'm close to getting out, I know that I'll have enough based on what I've seen. Because I am tracking everything carefully, including my SP and everything. So you do have to, like, just be mindful of all this in order to go fast.
With each battle, I grow stronger.
One other thing that's nice is like I'm leveling up very consistently, so I don't have to use plums as often. It saves time from having to enter the menu.
Let us fight with honor. battle is true great lightning.
So yeah, there's like 2 different thief combinations. The one with 4 shields right now, on the right hand side. He actually has less HP, so even though he's not weak to lightning, you could still defeat him. And I took off Alluring Ribbon. I took off, and I plumbed up. So I'm just gonna run toward the exit, and I know that around then I will be done. You can see here that these guys just don't do all that much damage. I have this helmet on called the Crystal Helmet, and that was in the Dragon Song dungeon that I went to earlier. That has the highest physical defense in the entire game, so it makes me very beefy, especially as I've gotten more levels. How Octopath works for levels is that levels that end in 20 give a bigger boost in stats. So for example, going level 19 to 20 gives a bigger boost than 20 to 21. So it's more efficient to end in levels ending in 20, but it also means that once you're at level 20, then you have like higher defenses and everything too. Then, you know, it's a good baseline to reach, basically. We are higher level than that now though. This is the most annoying combination to defeat, because the Guardians have 2 shields each. So we gotta level slash 2 times, but then we end up accidentally breaking the back group, so it just takes longer.
With each battle, I grow stronger.
That's me healing just for safety.
Let us fight with honor.
Because again, you get caught by surprise, and then it could be very bad. But overall, this grind was very good, especially the revitalizing jam drop. That saved me a lot of time. So we want 2714, and here we, if you looked, I got 2797. So I'm good and I'm done, and I leave the map. And we also have the menu here now too. We have to put on some gear and learn some stuff and things. So Conscious Stone, Calming Stone, and High House Armor. First one blocks Unconscious, second one blocks Terror, which are status conditions. Then we learn some Hunter abilities. And I'm supposed to stay on Hunter, but here I had just forgotten. I think I was double checking notes here. And then in addition to that, we put on Evasive Maneuver, Second Serving, Eagle Eye. The third equipment we put on was High House Armor, which just has higher physical defense than the Elemental Robe we had. Hunter, that's necessary for the dungeon or this map coming up, and also for the early challenges. And then the support skills we put on, like I'll explain those as we get to it. But basically, one is like Second Serving, which gives extra attacks, and then the other gives extra crit. So yeah, and then Evasive Maneuvers to reduce the encounter rate again, because we're gonna run around. We're looting all these chests. That was the Fire Soulstone, and then with some money and a larger Soulstone as well. So this is always the first encounter in this map, and we can defeat it with the Hunter ability Arrow Storm. Arrow Storm is kind of like 1,000 Spears, but it's guaranteed 3 arrows on all enemies. Here, that glint means I got endless items, which is really good. It's gonna save me some time later. 1,000 Spears cannot miss, but if you try to attack the enemy, you can miss. So I use 1,000 Spears.
The thrill of the fight.
And then that defeats them. And that group gives a lot of experience and job points because it's like a level 45 map. But Aerostorm helps us defeat it because we can break them all and then use a large Soulstone. We come into this dungeon and we're gonna loot it. Similar to other dungeons we've been doing. If you wanted, there's a chest behind this boss, which is called the Brightstone. It's not very helpful though. It's like 1,800, which is like nothing. So we don't bother getting it. But yeah, we say no to the boss to reset the encounters, and then leave and come back. Yeah, and then when we come back, we say no again, and then we pick up another chest over here, which is a Death Cleaver. It's an axe, but we just sell it for money, that's all. Because we can't equip axes. warrior and hunter. Well, actually, hunter I guess can equip axes, but we're not gonna stay hunter for very long. So we looted that one dungeon, but there's another dungeon that's like right next to it that also has a lot of money. It's like 50,000 in it. We're gonna go pick it up now. I'm just gonna double check that I'm still recording. Okay, just making sure. So yeah, we come straight back here and we loot the other dungeon, which is like right next to it. This is Shrine of the Runeblade. Basically, it's one of the secret 4 jobs in this game, and you would have to fight a powerful boss to get these special job that he guards. But we don't bother. We're just gonna save. We're gonna quit to reload the encounters, and then we're gonna loot 2 chests in here. But yeah, we wanted Aerostorm for that battle that we had just fought. In addition to that, we're gonna go to another map that sometimes has enemies weak to bows, to arrows, storm. So here you're extremely likely to get both treasure chests. There's, you know, I've seen that you could actually just run in without saving and quitting, and then just pick up both of them. But I get the encounter really early right here, which is unfortunate. I try to run, but I don't get it. So this is, I think, the only time I was caught by surprise, I think, in this entire run. Which is better than average, I think, but still is unfortunate to have gotten. I think this cost me like 30 seconds or something. Maybe more, I don't know. But yeah, this time could definitely go down. Like, even if you got like another cat pair, yeah. But 50,000 and a revitalizing gem. Then there's another dungeon we gotta loot as well. You can get a random encounter, I think, from this diagonal walk right here, but I think it's extremely rare. That, or like if you mess up your movement. But yeah, more high level dungeons and stuff like that. But we're almost done. You know, we did our grind, we did our looting and stuff, and we're gonna just do a whole gauntlet of bosses soon. So that's the more interesting part of the run. The chest right there is a 30,000 leaf chest, but we don't get it right away because we want to minimize the chance of random encounters. So we say no to the boss. We come over here, we pick up a Shadow Soul Stone, a large one. Up there is a refreshing jam that heals HP and SP fully. We're gonna need that for one of the chapter 2 bosses. We're gonna use a buffer glitch to get to the treasure chest right there. It has a forbidden dagger that sells for a decent chunk of money. I think like 17,000, but I'm not sure. I will safety save though, because the encounter is a little dangerous. If you get the encounter, a lot of them are weak to bow and arrow, so we can use Aerostorm to break and flee. But which is why, you know, we stay as hunter. And also, I also paid attention to my SP. I have 24 SP, which is the minimum you need for Aerostorm. And then we pick up the 30,000 leaf chest and we leave. And here, before I battle, I have to heal up. So see, I have 24 exactly, and that's because Aerostorm takes 24. So just in case. This is the first guy. I go challenge him now.
That's. Let us fight with honor. No.
Pretty basic. You just keep using sword until he's broken, and then you use 1,000 spears. Max boost. I have an ability called Second Serving. That gives a 50% chance of using an extra attack, like right there. Sometimes it can save a turn or two. Here, 1,000 spears has to hit at least 4 times. I did hit 4 times, but if you only hit 3, you could just use another follow-up 1,000 spears to finish him off after he becomes unbroken. Alright, so next is this guy. This guy, unlike the first guy, is weak to spear. The first guy is weak to sword, this guy is weak to spear. So we're just gonna use 1000 spears right away.
Let us fight with honor.
And yeah, we just spam 1000 spears to defeat him. Hunter gives us a little bit more physical attack. In addition to that, it gives us a little more crit, a little more accuracy, and then we also had the crit nut that we put on, and also we have Eagle Eye, which is the hunter passive, one of the hunter passives we put on alongside second serving, and that gives extra crit. So here we go to merchant, and that's going to be our DPS job for the rest of the run. And basically we've gotten through kind of like, this is like the preliminaries of the tournament, and the moment we defeat this guy, we take his slot in the tournament. So I'm going to just level slash 2 times, and then that will defeat, or that will break the 2 adds, the two minions, and then we'll use hired help veterans to defeat the guy. In addition, aside from doing that, something else you could do is just use sword on the guy, and then two swords, and then hired help veterans defeats these guys as well. Alternatively, another way is 1 sword, and then you defend on turn 2, hired help veterans, which breaks the guy, but he has a little bit of HP left, and then just use 1 spear. What I do is I flex based on the turn order. So, also he drops a pomegranate small, and that gives 1 SP, and it could help sometimes. I didn't end up using it in this run, but I've used it in my practices sometimes against like Werner or some other boss or something. Werner is the final boss of this run. So this is a tournament. You're auto healed after every single battle, which is nice. Okay, this is Joshua. Joshua Frostblade. He's weak to light, and he's weak to axes, which is okay. So we're gonna use our light soulstone. Basically, when I was grinding in the Tomb of Kings, some of the enemies I fought, if you remember, they were using light attacks. In addition to that, when you defeated them, they had a chance of dropping light soulstones, and this is where I used them if I picked up any. You can also get endless items and recycle them as well. But I didn't get that many drops, which is fine. I'm going to use hired help bandits. So this is the pay to win ability I mentioned earlier, where you pay money and you do damage and such. Bandits is one of the cheaper options, but it does axe, which is very helpful because it helps break the tough guy in the back, who's our main focus. Here we're going to boost axe to break him. And then we're going to use hired help veterans, which you saw a little earlier against Victorino. Veterans does a lot of damage, but it costs 30,000 leaves, so we don't want to use it that often. This does not finish him off though. He has a little bit of HP left, but a single 1000 spears should usually defeat him. But yeah, he's like really low on HP, so he powers up, but it doesn't matter because we just defeat him here. But yeah, that battle cost us 30,000, but it was worth it because it just makes it a lot faster. We cannot do that much damage on our own, so. And he drops a Inspiriting Plum M, which is a SP restorative. That can very rarely help against Werner, but mainly it's helpful for inventory management, for like moving around like the inventory, because it pushes items down and stuff, which can sometimes help with like navigating to them. Okay, so Archbold, he's pretty strong. We put on the Conscious Stone earlier, which blocks Unconscious. Otherwise, in this battle, the minions can do it, and it gets really dangerous. We're gonna use hired help dancers here, and he's weak to dagger, so that chips him, but also blinds him, and hopefully he'll miss some attacks. I think in this run he did not miss a single attack, which made my HP get kind of sketchy. We're gonna use another pomegranate medium, and that gives 2 BP again. You can also use the large, but it's a little safer to use, or we want to conserve the large basically. So here I just do a single spear attack because I never poison him. The dancers that we use has a chance of poisoning and blind, but we didn't get it, so it's fine. I just use a spear to tap him. So here you can see my HP is getting very low. I never got this low in practice because my luck was so bad. But daggers will break him, and the hired help veterans will defeat him. Also, in the previous turn, I did do a single spear attack, which helped chip him down. If I did not use the spear attack, he probably would have survived this. So
With each battle,
And fortunately I survived. If your HP is low and you're a little worried, you can also delay and just heal with Grape if you're following the speedrun route. Here I do a safety save, not usually necessary, and I probably should have just skipped it, but this is my first run of this category, so I just wanted to be safe. Because this is the final boss of Chapter 2, and he could also be a little bit bad. There's like different variations because we're going to rely on 1000 Spears, and 1000 Spears hits from 3 to 7 times, so it varies a lot. Took a while to route this battle. But anyways, right away, Hired Help Veterans, it defeats the shield bearers. And then he unlocks his shield after that, and that's important because then we can start chipping him down with 1000 spears and then break him. So we always use veterans, and then we use 1000 spears, and then we use a buy to power up our 1000 spears. And basically over here, sometimes you break, sometimes you don't. Regardless whether you break or not, on this turn here you max boost, and then if you haven't, then this max boost will break him. And then sometimes afterwards you have a spare fire soulstone medium, and you would throw that. But here I got a lot of hits off on him, and because I know that I did a lot of damage to him, I want to chip him down right away and use 1000 spears again, because I know that he's about to power up his power up because he took so much damage, and I was like mentally counting some things. But very soon I know he's gonna power up because I did so much damage. And basically when he gets to half health, then he powers up to 3 actions per turn, and then you want to defeat him right away afterwards. So right here basically. He always does this cross strike into Blade Sunders all, and he gets 3 actions every turn now. But we're gonna toss our medium soulstone, which normally we would throw it earlier, but I just adjusted because of the turn order. And then we use Hired Help Veterans, and this should defeat him usually. If you don't defeat him with this, then you just use another 1000 spears after he returns from break, and then that'll usually defeat him. But overall it was okay. Also, the 2 shield guys, they have a chance of dropping spiked shields. Each one sells for 2,000, which can be helpful. Over here, there's a dungeon to the left called the Force of No Return, and I normally go in there to pick up a shadow large soulstone. But earlier, when I was in the Everhold map, I got the endless item proc on my fire large soulstone, so I skipped it. Here, we just heal up because we're about to go out. There will be a battle coming up in Chapter 3, so we heal now just in case for random encounters and stuff too. But yeah, we are in the Chapter 2 town, and it's faster to just leave here and go to the dungeon nearby because we want the resources there too. Very dangerous map. It's probably the worst of the maps we go through, I think. Maybe Catacombs. But this or Catacombs, I think. Because like, okay, Olberic's generally considered the longest, well, it is the longest category with the most battles that is required, so you need the most resources and stuff too, or you know, a higher number of resources for the solo. There's a large pomegranate there. We save and quit, and then we get a revitalizing gem and 20,000 leaves on the right hand side. Yeah, we waited until now to get it because at the end of this Chapter 2, we are right at the exit of his town, so it's faster to do it at that point than any other point. Here you can run behind the lady, just FYI. And we go to Chapter 3. So basically in his chapter 2, he fought in the tournament, he got information on the guy who betrayed him, and he learns that the guy who betrayed him is in this town, Erhardt. So we're gonna look for Erhardt, and as we walk around and talk to people and stuff, we learned that there's a lizard attack coming to the town, and Erhardt went to fight against the lizards. So while Erhardt is gone, we're going to defend the townsfolk in his stead, because, well, they're innocent people, so we want to protect them. So yeah, we have to fight 2 lizard battles, which is 3 lizards and then 3 lizards again, and it's a little bit dangerous. The first set of lizards actually has very slightly higher physical attack, but they're both pretty bad. The first one, you use a large soulstone and a medium soulstone, and hopefully you just don't take much damage, because they like to buff themselves a lot with that charge ability. Their basic attack isn't that bad, but they have a poison attack, which is this. It does a lot of damage, and poison also is really bad. So here I'm just checking for what medium soulstones I have, and the Shadow M is not very helpful, so I chucked that. But I took like half damage, which is really bad. If I did not get the rare cat battle in the Tomb of Kings, I would have leveled up there, by the way. Usually you would level up there. This group is a little tankier though, so you need to use 2 large soulstones, and you kind of just hope that they charge themselves a lot, which they can do. So, and I survived, but it was very tight, so it can be really bad. Getting endless items there can help as well. You'll see that later. But yeah, very dangerous battle, unfortunately. If you get unlucky, you just redo the battle until you can get through. If you get good turn order, then you're safer. You also have to full heal HP and SP for the boss coming up, like a lizard boss. There's a 6,000 leaf chest here. Because I got the double cat battle in the Tomb of Kings, I could have skipped it, but it doesn't take that much time to pick up, and it doesn't hurt to have extra money anyway, so I pick it up anyway. But yeah, this is the Lizardman Den. So you see Erhardt there, surrounded by lizards, and we go save him. And then we split up to fight the lizards. So, alright, Lizard King, Lizardman Chief. This is a Chapter 3 boss, or one of the Chapter 3 bosses. So we use sidestep, for to dodge. Every single one sidestep will dodge a physical attack. So in top right, I'll dodge 2 physical attacks. But I got bad turn order. Both of the minions that were summoned outsped me. So that was unfortunate, but a wind soulstone, a large one, will defeat them because they're weak to it. Also chips the main guy, which is helpful. Now we're just gonna keep using sidestep because he does single attacks mainly. He could do a rampage attack, but that's on lower HP, so we're fine for now.
Fortune favors the prepared.
Here we're gonna boost sidestep, and now we're gonna be a lot safer against him. We're gonna use a large pomegranate. That gives 4 BP boost points, and then we use hired help veterans to chip him some more because he's weak to the sword, so this will do a lot of damage to him. Here we sidestep some more because we know that he's gonna summon soon. Yeah, here. When he resummons these guys, they're not at full HP anymore. And because they're not at full HP, we don't have to use a weakness soulstone. So we can use a large thunder soulstone, and that also chips the boss as well. So here, because I got bad turn order, I have to use one more sidestep. Because you see, he has 2 turns in between me. If I don't use sidestep, he's gonna use he's gonna do too much damage, and he's gonna knock me out. So yeah. But here I got a good turn order, so I'm fine. Since I outspeed next turn, I could use 1 Thunder Soulstone to chip him down, and then hired help veterans back to back to defeat him. One thing I want to mention though is that in this battle, the final Thunder Soulstone that I threw, I could have also thrown a Thunder Soulstone medium. That also defeats him, but it's a range, which means that sometimes you will be short just a little bit of damage, and it's very, very bad if you're short. So I just do the safe thing, which is to throw the bigger one. Unfortunately, I didn't get any endless item dupes on the soulstones I threw, so that'll waste some time later. Okay, so Earhart, this guy's weak to sword, so we just keep using sword, hope for second serving, and we chip him down. So the moment he reaches 2 or less shield, we use hired help veterans, and that defeats him.
The thrill of the fight.
Okay, so here we leave the town. Instead of warping away, we leave the town because there's a large Thunder Soulstone down in the sands that we can pick up. We actually walked right by this earlier, but if we did pick it up earlier, it's a little dangerous and you could get the random encounter, which would be bad. In addition to that, if I had gotten endless items on one of these soulstones in the boss battle just now, I could skip this and save 33 seconds. But I didn't get any of the three. I threw 3 items and none of them procced, I think. So I just had to redo. I had to make the trek for the spare backup stone, which is fine. It doesn't lose that much time. So I mean, it is considered slow, but this is a solo, so you're not gonna go super fast anyway compared to normal runs. Also, just gonna double check that it is still recording properly. So here we go, it's chapter 4. Earhart told us, like, you know, about the guy who orchestrated the betrayal and other things, so we're gonna go kind of get revenge and stop his madness. The guy took over this town and he's kind of crazy. He's like hanging people and stuff. So we joined the rebellion force. But in order to join, they want to test our abilities, and we had to beat this guy in order to prove ourselves. Red Hat guy. He has a lot of HP, so we're gonna break him with sword, and then we use hired help veterans to chip him. But he actually still has more HP left over, and here this can vary. Okay, so if you do not have any spare soul stones from earlier, from endless items, you have to abide and use 1,000 spears. Sometimes you need multiple, but because we do have spare soul stones, we can throw them. We just break them and we toss the soul stone. But I actually duped it, which means that I could have just tossed soul stones instead of breaking in the first place. But yeah, he doesn't have very much HP left. Usually just 1 soul stone is enough to defeat him, but because I have 2, it's fine. Also here you see I have over 3,000 job points, and that's actually relevant. You need exactly 3,000 at this point, and it's routed so that you always get at least 3,000.
Well.
So yeah, we're about to join the rebellion, sneak into the guy's manse, and get our revenge. But here we spend 3,000. We learn patience, a support skill that is mandatory, and that's necessary for the final boss. I'll explain in a second about that one too. But yeah, we're just going through the sewers for a hidden path to the Lord's manse, where the dictator is located. And here is the mansion. So we're gonna go pick up a large pomegranate item over here, and then we're gonna warp to the town because we gotta sell some items. And there's actually another entrance to this mansion, which is closer to the boss. So we go to this equipment shop first, take off our sword, spear, and our shield, and then our helmet we replace with a SP helmet, which gives more SP. We also can put on an SP accessory, the Gravekeeper's Mark, that we used for grinding earlier. And now you can see I have like 180 SP, which is helpful for the final boss. Then we sell basically everything we got, and we need 165,000. Usually you have at least 166. But if you have a little more for like 170 or whatever, then it's fine, and it's even better. Here, this was a little bit too much for me, but I should have stopped selling, but oh well, it's fine. And then full heal HP and SP for the boss coming up. So yeah, this is the main mansion, but the place was kind of... Also here I was double checking that patience was on. The dungeon is actually kind of blocked off until we go through the sewers, but now that we have done the sewers cutscene, this is open and we could go through the front door and it's closer to the boss. And all speedruns basically do this to skip the random battles in this dungeon because it's a little dangerous. And the upcoming boss, Werner, he's one of the more dangerous bosses, chapter 4 bosses. Okay, so patience. Also, this is Werner. He's kind of a meme because of the horse, but patience gives a 25% chance of getting an extra turn at the end of a battle, at the end of a turn, and that always can happen. So you know, you could potentially get an extra turn this turn, an extra turn next turn, an extra turn the turn after. And it helps so much in solos because it gives you more opportunities to use items and other things to power up. And it basically turns the tide of battles because now you're not just solo, it's closer to a duo. So, and that helps so much. The problem is that it's 25%, so the strategy for this boss is to just run into the battle over and over until patience procs. But I wasn't getting it, so... one alternative you could do is use a revitalizing jam on the first turn, which fully heals you. The problem is that even though it fully heals you, Werner casts defense down on you, which means that his second turn, both of his attacks knock you out. So even if you full heal your HP, it's useless. You have to get patience to proc and get sidesteps up as soon as possible. And since we, you know, if you look in the top right, our defense has been lowered. So we're just hoping for patience to proc, and it didn't, so. But since it's 25%, usually within 4 tries you will have it proc, and then you can start getting sidesteps up, and then you can defeat him.
I will not fail. Have at you. How about this? Fortune favors the prepared.
So here, on turn 2, I was going first, so I managed to get some sidestep up, but I still need patience to proc here, and it did proc. So now, this should be a win usually, and you'll see how the fight goes. So if you look in the top right, I'm down to 1 sidestep already. So it's still a little dangerous, but I got another patience, and that's really nice. You want as many as possible, and you want to get as many sidesteps up as possible in the beginning. If I did not have patience, by the way, basically you just break even in terms of your number of sidesteps and the number of attacks. It's almost equal. So then you just can't make any progress because you're just trying to survive every single turn. And he's weak to thunder, wind, and light, so we're tossing those soul stones to chip him down a little bit. The damage is calculated very exactly too for a certain glitch that we're gonna be aiming to do. So yeah, this is how the Werner battle goes in a solo. You basically keep using items to sidestep. As you get the sidesteps up, you use large soul stones on your you know, turns when you're able to, and then you try to break them and use higher top veterans. And you generally try to be efficient. So for example, if you already boosted in a turn, like right now I just boosted and I don't have any boost points, and I get patience, I'm gonna use a revitalizing jam here because it's more efficient. If I just use a pomegranate large, next turn I'll have 4 boost points, and then the turn after you boosted, you don't gain boost points. But if I use Revitalize Jam, then I have all 4 to use.
Too slow. Have at you. Have a taste of pain. Too slow. Victory shall be mine. Have a taste of this.
The endless items is also nice. You do want like at least one endless item duplication on your soul stones, and sometimes you could get multiple, but you want at least one. Here, another way to be efficient is to not boost this turn, because I already did not boost for my main action, and then my patience action I didn't boost. That lets me gain 1 boost point instead of using higher health veterans, which means I would not be gaining boost points. I think that if I rerouted this, like I could route for if I got the patience turn when he's broken, which would help a lot. But
have a taste of this.
So yeah, the damage is actually very precise, and I'll explain in a second why. But we're basically trying to fight him very efficiently while getting our boost points and sidesteps and maintaining all of that. Okay, so our main goal. While we chip him down, we're also going to use like hired help clerics and other veterans and stuff to do a lot of damage to him and bring his shields down kind of low. There's a small handful of bosses in Octopath that are kind of glitched with their AI. And at half health, if you break them in a certain way, they're gonna loop their actions infinitely. Basically what this means is that Werner's one of those bosses that are weak to it. At half health, he does sweep, and then he does a boost, a power-up action. And the power-up action takes him to 3 attacks per turn, which is devastating for us, because that almost guarantees we lose. He always does a sweep and then the power-up action. But if you go in between those 2 turns, and then you break him right after he does sweep, but before he does the power-up action, he will loop his attacks infinitely. And every single turn he'll just do a single sweep attack over and over and over. We don't know why this is, it was just coded incorrectly or whatever. But some of the solo speedruns take advantage of this. So here we use clerics, by the way, and that will chip them down to 2 shields while doing a little bit of bonus damage. That 700 damage, like from the 4 of them, is actually relevant, by the way. Like that's actually really important. But yeah, we basically want to get his. It's calculated, so I calculated this so that the damage gets him very, very close to halfway, so that we can time when we break him very exactly. And he's basically kind of getting closer to half, but we do need a little more damage. With hired help veterans, that will bring him close enough for us with a large soulstone. So here I'm going to do it. So he's not broken yet, but these veterans still do a lot of damage. And now he's very, very close to half health, and I know this for a fact. That's why I'm like pausing here, because I'm debating whether to do the glitch or not. And then I decide that it's worth it, because you see on next turn I go in between, and that's what you want. This with Soulstone very specifically damages him to half health, and you're gonna see when I hover over him, his name color is gonna have changed. You see the color is different. That means he's at half health. So he just did sweep. He was right about to power up to 3 actions per turn. But because I broke him right afterwards, he did not power up to 3 turns, and now his AI is glitched because of how it was badly coded or whatever. But anyways, also I get up some boost points, and I used hired help veterans. I was very lucky too that the patience procced, so I could use a pomegranate item to get the BP for this. But yeah, now he's glitched, and this is basically a free win. I just have to take my time slowly and such.
Fortune favors the prepared. Too slow.
So you see here, he did sweep and he did a shield shift. He's gonna do this forever, basically. See, again. And this makes the battle kind of free-ish. He'll shift his weight and sweep, which means that he does 1 attack every single turn. Which also means that if we just use 1 sidestep every single turn, we will never get hit by him, and then we'll build up boost points, and then we can use like multiple sidesteps if we wanted or something. So yeah, makes the boss a lot freer.
Fortune favors the prepared. slow.
But that said, you do want to keep up sidesteps, because if you're careless, he can break through your sidesteps and he can still defeat you. Sweep does a lot of damage, I think like 1800 or something. So if he hits you 2 times with that, you're always gonna lose. So here, I'm kind of just like not fighting optimally because I never got this combination of early breaking him. But it's fine. I have extra money and I have lots of items, so I just have to break them and use Hired Up Veterans 2 more times. So this is one of the times. Also, fun fact, over here, I'm going to use a Pomegranate Large, and if I get Patience right here, I would have just won outright. Wait, huh, I guess I did. Wait, I don't know why I didn't do that. That's like just a huge mistake on my part. I could have just used Hired Up Veterans and just won. Wow, I didn't even realize. Yeah, okay, that was just a huge mistake on my part. Can't believe I missed that, oh my god. Ugh, that's a little depressing. Oh well, it's fine though. I guess that probably cost me like 2 minutes or something then. Oh well.
Victory shall be mine.
But it's fine. Over here, this will defeat him. Okay, so yeah, that was a critical mistake. Oh well. So I probably could have gotten sub 90 if I not missed that, but it's fine. Yeah, so we just do another Hired Help Veterans and we defeat them. That's why like getting Patience on those turns is actually really critically important. If you do get good Patience at the right time, you could save a lot of time on this battle. But still, overall, it was a good run. Mostly good. I definitely misplayed Verna at the end there, now that I've rewatched it, but it's fine. I was lucky in some points and stuff too. Time could go below 90 minutes, but I'm not interested, and I'm still mostly satisfied with how this route turned out. The old version of this was like 1 hour 45 minutes, and this is 1 hour 31 minutes. So it's a lot faster and better. And I might, submit this to marathons or something. What else? Yeah, overall this run was pretty good. I got 1 random encounter in Shrine of the Runeblade, but aside from that, I don't think I ran into anything else like extra or anything that was like really dangerous. And I did, make some misplays like that Werner thing at the very end, but overall it's still fine. The other bosses mostly went well, and I didn't have to retry any of the bosses, I think, other than Werner, and that was only until I got the Patience proc at the very beginning. Trying to think what else. Yeah, I think that's most of it and such. I recently redid Alphen solo, so this was Olberic solo redone, and now I'll probably do, I'm not sure yet, maybe another solo or maybe a full game challenge run or one of the other things I was planning, or maybe take a break. I still haven't played Octopath 0, still want to do that. Yeah. What else? So this could still be pushed down, obviously. You could take more risks and stuff, like skip some of the at the very end I had extra pomegranates, revitalizing them, and like soulstone stuff, so you could have skipped some and just hope for endless items to help to work out. I generally, when I route, I try to assume that endless items will not work, but this time it worked out okay. Yeah, I think that this is an 8-minute credits. I'm just gonna skip ahead to near the end of it. Let's see. Alright, so this is the end of the credits. If anyone has any questions or comments about the route, or if you have done this casually or you want to run this or something else, feel free to post below. Curious to hear what people think. Or just any questions or comments as well. Also, time occurred at when the skip cutscene trigger popped up, and it doesn't. You don't have to wait out the credits. But I do this just because I like to show like the items and everything. This is all the items that I have, and I'll show the equipment and the jobs and skills and other things. Equipment, jobs. Skills and support skills and such, and that is it. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope it was informative. Take care and have a nice day.